Hey DFW, how's it going? Welcome to Godfather TV. Doing something a little bit different tonight. Coming to you from downtown Dallas, up on the roof somewhere. I don't know where Al has us. He blindfolded us before we got here, so I don't know where we are. I don't know where we're gonna end up. To my wife Tammy, I love you. If I don't show up at home, Al did it. All right. But I want to thank Al, our production god, and again, I want to introduce Jeff Dennis, the Godfather.
Hello, like you said, we don't know where we're at, but hey, hope we make it out of here alive. Anyway, we have a special show for you tonight. From Austin, Texas, we're going to have Jason McMaster join us in our first off-location interview, and that'll be taking place shortly, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Godfather TV with your host, Jeff Dennis, Chuck Encinius, Technical Director, Al Mead. Tonight's guest, Jason McMaster.
What's up, all my rockers out there? This is Paul, the Van Halen guy. Ow! You're watching Godfather TV. You know what it's about, eh? What are you going to do?
I'm Marlene. And I'm Bianca. And we're here at the Rock House in El Paso, Texas. And you're watching Godfather TV. Woo!
I am Papa Emeritus of the band Ritual, and this is Osmosis. And you're watching Godfather TV.
Hello, rock stars. It's Rick with Concert Connection and In the Pit with Rick, and you're watching Godfather TV.
Hey guys, this is Emily from Fat Daddy's in Mansfield, and you're watching Godfather TV.
So the Lemmy thing, it's from his book, and of course I bought the book because he's talking about me in it. So I would have a cat to get it, fucking Lemmy, you know.
Yeah.
He says, because he's specific to the Operation Rock and Roll tour. And of course I have Rob Halford's book because the same reason. He's talking about he mentions Dangerous Toys in there. I also, by the way, have The Dirt because they're talking about Dangerous Toys in there.
There you go. I would too.
Okay, so he says, yeah, this tour called Operation Rock and Roll, and we were in the middle of these things, and we said yes, and we heard the Priest were going to do it, so we said yes, and then they, we knew the guys in Metal Church, and blah, goes on and on and on, and he says, they had this, it was a label tour, a Sony music tour, and he said that they had these guys, Dangerous Toys, on there, and the singer had red hair and sings everything in falsetto, just like Axl Rose, and you could tell that the band was the apple of Sony's eye.
That's what he said. Now I remember.
That's exactly what he said.
Yep.
And he's not, I didn't take it as like a slant, I took it as, that sounds like Lemmy talking.
Right.
Because I got to spend hours with him.
Nice.
And he was awesome and so nice and intelligent. He talks shit about me when I leave the room, but if he's right in front of me, I would go, dude, I'm right in front of you. Just wait till I leave. It's fine.
Right.
Not in the room. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's what that was all about.
Yeah.
All right, so Dangerous Toys still active. I think you just played Fort Worth a few months ago, or that's this month actually.
Shit, yeah, that was like, it was, 3-4 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you on the Monsters of Rock cruise this year twice. So I mean, still sounding fantastic.
Awesome, thank you.
You guys
we just did
basically tour now, or are you going to plan on making any new records, or is that like in the past?
Well, we love the Monsters of Rock people because I guess it was right before the pandemic, the lockdowns and stuff, they started this thing, Monsters on the Mountain, in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And we, it's like Dollywood, it's right around all that. And man, we loved that. That was great because it's the same premise as the cruise, but it's on a mountain in a venue, and it's like, it's the same thing. There's vendors, there's, whatever, it's the same type of thing. It's a rock concert festival type thing. It's just not on the boat. And so I think that company is really saving more of the retro type rock and roll type of bands, giving them a place to age gracefully, play the songs that you know you like, so you know what you're gonna get. Um, and for the most part, everybody's in pretty good shape, and they're playing and singing their asses off.
Yep.
I mean, Stephen Piercy and Queensryche and fucking the list goes. Striper, it's going on and all day long. I can talk about how great everyone looks and sounds and positive, positive, positive. You know, it's very cool. Um, I've been busy. The Toys are going to continue to do as many gigs as we can afford to do because touring is right out. People, concoct these ideas of, oh man, it was cool. Let's get Rhino Bucket and Junkyard and Dangerous Toys. Yeah, that's awesome. And like, they're not wrong. That is like the best shit. That will rock your ass. But splitting that check up 3 ways with 3 kick-ass rock and roll bands, it doesn't look very good at the end of the day. That ticket has to cost way too much.
Right.
And I don't want the tickets to cost way too much unless you're spending a big-ass chunk, but you're at a festival.
Right.
So you get everything else. It's a vacation, it's a rock concert, it's a festival, you sightseeing, you're meeting your tribe. That's what you see where I'm saying about
Yeah,
the
exactly.
monster thing. It's so rad, and they have the clout and it's like Tesla and Tom Kiefer and all those guys are still kicking ass, and they're the headliners all the time, so you know what you're gonna get.
Right.
It's a way to connect. It's a way to reconnect. And a lot of those bands, they put out a record every year and a half, every 2 years. It's like, on that note, the Toys, we have new songs, but we don't have a record out yet. We don't know. I just hope no one's holding their breath because they're going to fucking turn blue and die. Because we're not really in a hurry. There's no deadline. We don't have a label,
Nobody pressuring you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're just having fun playing rock and roll and trying to write some songs that we think don't suck. Because, anyone can write a song. Any band who's been around can, of course, it's obvious you can write a song if you got the core guys. In Dangerous Toys, we still have the same guys that have been in the band the whole fucking time.
That's awesome.
That's rare. That's rare.
That's awesome.
Greatness. 25 years now. 25 years.
Striper has 3 out of 4. That's pretty good.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Queensryche has 2. That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good. When you kind of think about things that have happened,
Quiet Riot has none.
Well, they got Rudy back.
Well,
He's
that's
original.
well. They have Rudy Sarzo.
But he wasn't original. But
but that's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
Here you go. They have a legend on bass.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, so Dangerous Toys around 25 years, people, and but Jason's been busy in between those 25 years doing other bands that maybe you don't know about.
Wait, let's talk about your 25 years. What do you?
87 to 2022 is that 35 years? Sorry, 35 years. Damn.
Thank you.
I'm getting old too. Sorry.
35 years. Well,
30.
that's not anybody's fault. That's okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I just kept going 25 years.
Yeah,
it's
I'm sorry.
Shit.
Jeff,
I can't add. I missed that day in math class.
That's new. That's like 25 years. That's not very old at all.
Jeff just turned 167 years old.
Yeah, I'm older than all y'all. So
fucking awesome.
Anyway, in the last 35 years, he also had at least 4 or 5 albums with a band called Ignitor, right?
Yes.
I first saw them. They had a female singer. I think her name was Erica or something.
Yeah. What's with me replacing the female singer?
She was metal as fuck though. She was fucking like Doro.
Erica is a metal queen. The thing is about Erica is anything she touches is gold. She is one of those sort of like masters of whatever she sets out to master. She is hyper smart, uh, friendly with anyone, has her opinions, strong-willed, and will kick your ass.
Nice.
If she wants to kick your ass, she will kick your ass. But the thing is, she's nonviolent.
Right.
But you got to watch out. She's just fire. And me and my wife love Erica. Her husband Jeff is in. God, I want to say he's in a band called. It's either I'm going to get this wrong. I apologize to those who like these bands. Imprecation or Trenchant. I'm going to look that up. Y'all can edit that out, right?
Yes.
Nope, we're gonna keep it, Jason.
We want to watch you sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up. He used to be in a band called Inversafira, and they were a black metal band. Anyway, Jeff is the shit. He's badass, and I'm going to give him some props here because I'm going to look it up. Let's see. Imprecation, I think, is what it is. Let's see. It'll be worth it. Come on, internet. I have to put band after the word. Because it's a fucking word, you know. I'm pretty sure he's in this band. Man, did I fuck it up or what? They're from Houston, actually.
Nice.
Let's see. Let's see if their Bandcamp has any more info about it. Anyway, I'm sorry, Jeff, and I'm sorry, Imprecation, if I got all this shit wrong.
Well, you better hurry, Jason. We're paying you big money for this.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? Anyway, we can talk about Erica and Jeff. They are very, very talented, and they've been married a long time now. And yes, Erica and Jeff I met when I started working with Ignitor, because I used to go see Ignitor when Erica was in the band. And I befriended both of them. So when she left, I kind of just moved in and took over because I was already in a Judas Priest tribute band, as Chuck knows.
Sad Wings.
That had basically Stuart, the guitar player for Ignitor. He was in Sad Wings that we had all put together.
Batlord.
Batlord, the Batlord, yes, from Agony Column fame.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed at Stewart's house, where also Ignitor rehearsed. So one day I asked, how's your vocalists auditions going? And he started cracking up, and he was like, oh my God, we've had, it's like Craigslist auditions, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, just Joe Blow is showing up, people of all sizes and shapes and colors and people from other planets, and it's just you get the creeps and the weirdos just as much as you get the talent, right? And he was going on about it. I go, man, that's too bad because you guys are so good. And I said, I tell you what, if you can't find someone to be in the band, I'll do the record, because they had been writing. They had all this material with no singer. And I said, I'll do the record. And just to help out. And he's like, because he wrote all the lyrics and everything for that Spider Queen record. It was kind of a flop because it was a concept record and no one knew it was a concept record. Not all the songs have guitar solos. You think thrash metal and heavy metal and power metal and true metal. You think guitar solos. You think power metal vocals and guitar solo. Not all the songs had solos, and they were very dramatic. And it was like if Dio and King Diamond wrote this movie, about this, I don't know, Harry Potter kind of Twin Towers, kind of like, oh, there's a villain and there's a blah, and, an opera, right? A concept record. Right. And it kind of flopped because the reviewers weren't told they didn't realize that it was a concept album. Where's all the fucking guitar solos? Bring Erica back. Fuck this guy. You know what I mean? That was happening a little bit, and I didn't blame him. You know, if you don't know, you don't know. You know, so it took a second.
Right.
But you know, we stay busy. But during that same time, I had, you know, even earlier than that, I worked with a band 3 records in called Evil United, and that's basically a band called Pitbull Daycare
Yeah.
with me singing. And before they were like this industrial kind of metal band, like a Ministry kind of a thing. Very metal, but had like all the like loops and, you know, like synth, you know, sounds like chickens fucking in the background and stuff, you know, like you know, shit, tapes rolling in the back. And they sent me some. I ran into the guys at a Megadeth Heaven and Hell show in San Antonio, and I said, so that's like 2004. No, yeah, fuck, it was a long time ago. Maybe 2006, I don't know. Anyway, and they sent me some tapes, and I've known the guys forever. They sent me some tapes of the material, and I was like, fuck, this is heavy, but is there any way you can send me a remix without all the chickens fucking in the background? And they did. And they did. They sent me just the band playing the riffs, you know, drums, guitars, you know, rock band shit without all the shit going on. And I was like, that's the shit. I can work with that. And I wrote a record fast. And 3 records later, yeah.
I saw Evil United open for Saxon in Dallas at the Gas Monkey Live.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I loved it. See, I thought that was one of your newer bands. I didn't know you were doing that back then still. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then right before, I think basically maybe a year before everything I base around the COVID scare, you know, we released that 3rd record, which is called Serpent. So there's a self-titled, there's a 2nd record that's called Honored by Fire, and there's a 3rd record called Serpent. And they're all 3 metal as fuck.
Right.
So tons of Igniter, 3 Evil Uniteds, and then right, it was probably around 2015 or 2016, around the same time as the Evil United Serpent record started to become written. I got a call from this guy David Tiso. He's Italian, from a band called Ifal Duath, like a progressive black metal band from Italy. And Ifal is EPHAL, I believe. DUATHE or something like that. Ifal Duath. I think I'm saying that right. And he's a master at this, like, totally brooding. Fast forward, he basically hired me to write a record with him, or actually he wrote all the music and lyrics. He's the mastermind behind it. And I ended up doing 2 records with him. The project is called Howling Sycamore. And it's, imagine Pink Floyd had become a black metal band.
Nice.
With me singing.
Even better.
And,
yeah,
also,
it's crazy music. And it's probably the closest thing to Watchtower that I've done since Watchtower.
Wow.
So it's available. It's all on YouTube. It's all out there. Howling Sycamore. So yeah, that was busy. Then I started making records with these guys out of New Jersey called Cassius King.
Yep, Dan Lorenzo.
Yeah. And
We
that stuff
we had Scott LePage on last week.
Oh yeah, was he talking about the Cassius
He
King?
mentioned you and Cassius King, and
Awesome.
we were talking about Hades mainly, but
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Watchtower, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, Scott LePage was also in Hades with Dan Lorenzo and Alan Tecchio, who took my place in Watchtower. So there's this big, Kevin Bacon thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you know what? And you know what? I fucking love that.
Yep.
Well,
I
it was
love it
cool.
that it's
It was
this
cool.
incestuous. Yeah, Scott
Right.
LePage is the
Well,
best guy. So even keeled, it's not even funny.
well, it was cool for me to watch because I remember when Sad Wings played with Judas Rising over here at O'Reilly's.
Mhm.
I remember Scott had just joined the band, and when you guys saw each other, it was like two brothers that hadn't seen each other in 20 years. You guys just hugged each other, and it was good to see each other. I was like, wow, man, this is cool as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Rock stars doing that, you know?
yeah, and he's a great player and just a cool. Like I said, he's a cool head. He's a good
Yeah.
guy.
I love Scott, man.
Yeah, he's also good friends with uh, Romero from Back in Black.
Yeah, Ramiro.
Yeah.
Ramiro
Ramiro,
replaced
and
him. Yeah.
yeah, and so Ramiro might be the biggest Cassius King fan there is because
Wow.
anytime I talk to Ramiro, he's all he wants to talk about is Cassius King. So you know, I fill in on bass.
Yeah, every so often.
Sometimes, not very much anymore. They have the badass guy they have now,
Right.
and so the you know, anytime I was working with those guys, me and Romero have a little bit of history. When he was a young pup and living in Oklahoma, the Toys came through and his band, God, what was the name of his band? Something Jester. God, I can't, he's going to hate me that I can't remember it. Anyway, they opened for the Toys, and I brought him on the tour bus, and we hung out all day, and they were just like,
Nice.
yeah, and he never forgot that we were just dudes hanging out. He, you know, tour buses pull up, you think, oh my God, rock, you know, this psyche takes over that something, oh my God, we're not worthy kind of thing. That's bullshit. It's anyone can rent a fucking stupid bus and pull up to a gig. It doesn't mean anything. It's a fucking RV. It's an RV. It's just an RV.
Yeah, but
So,
like I can see where Ramiro's coming from, Jason, because you know, I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico, right? You see a big bus like that come through, it's rock star status, man. We don't ever get that kind of stuff over there. And when you see that kind of stuff in a small town like that, Jesus, yeah, you're a rock star, man. Bring that bus.
we
You
were
know?
we thought it was going to turn into a pumpkin at midnight.
Right,
So
right,
we were
right.
trying to live it up and hurry up and get on this thing with us and hang out, Ramiro. Bring your whole band. I don't give a shit. Drink all this beer. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Because this thing turns into a pumpkin at midnight. That
Yeah.
was kind of like where me and the Toys were. Very fleeting. We didn't know. We were just like, we thought we were dreaming. This ain't gonna last very long. That's kind of what.
Well, here you are 35 years later, my friend.
Well,
And
I'm
then
not
you
on
got-
a bus. That shit's expensive.
Right?
Yeah, let's not forget about Broken Teeth. They had
Yeah.
a lot of albums and a lot of touring going on with them too over the
A
years.
lot of work, a lot of road work with Broken Teeth. We were
Like
on
an
the road.
angry AC/DC, a pissed off AC/DC is what it is.
Yeah, I have to give credit to Ginger from the Wild Hearts. Ginger Wildheart, who actually just did a gig in Michael Monroe's band, Hanoi Rocks guy. In Finland, I believe that it was they played a gig. He's celebrating his 60th birthday. And I'm sure they did a whole Hanoi Rocks set, you know. But yeah, I saw Ginger. Anyway, Ginger, I've never met him. It's only just been chatty over social media. And someone turned him on to Broken Teeth and got him to give us a quote. And the first thing he said was, "Sounds like a pissed off AC/DC."
Oh,
So that's where that comes from.
That's good.
Yeah, that's where that comes from. Wherever you read that, you just now know you got that comes from Ginger Wildheart.
wow.
Well, I'm gonna name drop a little bit here, but I from Creation, we got to open up for Jason and Broken Teeth like 4 or 5 times, man. Such a great time all the time, man. It was cool as hell.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we every time we came through or had a run that was going into the Midwest, we have to hit y'all's area.
Yeah.
So we
And
have to play through there.
I loved playing with you guys. Such cool dudes. You know, you've always been cool though, Jason, you know, with Sad Wings and doing the Priest Fest. I have to give that a plug because we did a couple of those.
Yeah.
Sad Wings and Judas Rising. What, 37 Judas Priest songs without anybody being repeated. Any song being repeated. That was fun.
greatness. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a Guinness Book of World Records thing. That has to
Yeah,
be.
that
It
was
has to
fun,
be.
dude.
Yeah, for people that don't know, Sad Wings did all old shit. It was fucking awesome.
Right.
I mean, Tyrant and Genocide and Sinner and just shit like that. No Breaking the Law, no Turbo Lover, no Living After Midnight, no
Yeah,
You
we
Got Another Thing Coming.
Shut up, Jeff.
Shit that I like.
there were a couple of gigs, I have to confess. There were a couple of gigs, and they were probably the last 2 or 3 gigs that we did, where we were hired by someone who was a little bit butthurt because they asked for the set list, and I said, well, what are you? I don't like to divulge the surprises. What do you think you're gonna get? You know, what are you hoping to get? So he goes, well, you know, I want to hear, you know, Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight. I want to hear the good, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, well, here's the deal. We don't play those. And so it was kind of like I was caught between a rock and a hard place by way of maybe we should play those
To get paid.
because he's really taking care of us. He's a super guy, you know, the promoter. And so it sort of changed our head a little bit. And I don't mind playing those songs. They're fan favorites. That's why they're in the fucking Judas Priest set list. I mean,
Right.
you can't be such a hater all the time, you know. But I think when I met Chuck and those guys, I was like, well, here's a great idea. If you guys are kind of doing this stuff that we aren't, it's like not even on our radar. I don't even know how to play those songs, you know, the shit y'all are doing. So it was like 2 different bands, kind of.
Badass.
And
It was
so it was
fun.
it was a great opportunity to go, oh, let's do this fucking thing. You know, you play these and we play these. Is that cool? You know, kind of taking stock, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a grandiose idea.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
we kind of played a little joke on Jason and them because we did like just the first, I think, intro and verse to Victim of Changes, remember? And we stopped and said, well, no, we're gonna let those guys do it instead. You know, we didn't want to do that song. Jason goes, well, you should have just fucking finished it. You already started it, just finish it. But those were good times, man. We did O'Reilly's and we did the Red Eyed Fly, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
And do you remember, Jason, that Red Eyed Fly gig? You remember it rained so much that we had to load out in that freaking rain. It was like up to past our knees. Remember, it had rain for, I don't know, like 40 days straight.
Well, it didn't help that there was a giant pothole right there under the gate, getting out to the loadout area. Right.
Yeah, it was bad, man. But
yeah.
Good times, Jason. Good times.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Broken Teeth. You know, the last record we put out was a live record. It was recorded right before the shit hit the COVID fan, called Evil in the Queue, and you can get it on vinyl, and it's a live record. But you can get it on vinyl and you can get it on CD, but in the CD there's also a live DVD, so you can watch the show. So it's the same audio that's on the vinyl and the CD, but you can watch it, and it's pro shot in a killer venue. That was at ACL Live 310 down on like 2nd Street, downtown Austin, and that would have been like in December of 20, I want to say 19, right before it got bad, you know. And so it, you know, right in the middle of the pandemic, that record came out. Whether good or bad or ugly, I think it did okay. But yeah, like 9 or 10 records by Broken Teeth.
That's crazy.
People can see those that get
and they're
those.
all badass, dude.
Thanks. BrokenTeeth.com. People can.
And to make things even better, Jason is now the singer of Dirty Looks. Everybody loves Dirty Looks from the '80s. They don't do that.
I should.
Right. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
I'm wearing my favorite Dirty Looks T-shirt as we do this, and I didn't mean for that to happen.
Yes, you did, Jason. Yes, you did.
And they're going to be playing Monsters of Rock Cruise next year, which I'm already going on again. So I'm looking forward to that. Beyond belief.
Yes, we are. Very happy about that. The record that we released in September. The
live album, wasn't it?
Yeah, the live album. It's called "Cool from the Speedway," and it was recorded in it was recorded September 18th in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, in 2021, and it came out this year, May 30th of 22, and sales have been pretty good. There's a bunch of fan footage on YouTube that's got kind of rotten audio on it that people like, but there's also some pro shot video, at least the Cool from the Wire, from the DVD, from the record. So same thing with the Dirty Looks record. You buy the CD and there's a piggyback DVD of the same show, same audio and everything. So, and that was I found out later that Dirty Looks proper with the original guys, which is, the three guys that are still in Dirty Looks, back in the day, they never played a set that long. They played 10, 12 songs. There's 17 songs on this live record, and it's a full show. So, it's about an hour and 20 or more, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's that didn't make the record that's on the cutting room floor, and that's just me telling bad jokes. So, yeah. But it's Cool from the Speedway. They can get it dirtylooksmusic.com, any digital platform, it's all there. And yes, I'm super proud of it. Thanks for bringing it up. I love those songs so much. Me and Henrik were friendly, and when they used to come through Texas back in the day, late 80s and early 90s, Henrik would invite me up to sing a song with him and stuff. And
yeah, he had a very unique voice, and for those that don't know, he passed away. Yeah, and that's why Jason is their vocalist, and he has a similar voice, so it's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I think he passed away like 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of a kind guy. And so, once again, these songs, they don't sing themselves. And I want Dirty Looks fans to be able to hear these songs again. So when they asked me, of course, I jumped on it. And, I stole their guitar player in 1993. So
exactly.
There you go.
Paul Lydell.
Paul Lydell's been in Dangerous Toys since, January of 94. So.
My name is Adrian Martinez. I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I'd like to ask you a question on Godfather TV. I really struggle with writing words and putting melodies to songs that I write. My question to you is, how do you hear and listen to music that's already written, then put words and a melody that really work?
In answer to your question, which was, if I got it right, he's a songwriter, right, Chuck? Yeah. Yeah, so his question was, what's the best way, or how do I go about, I've got songs, but what's the best way to write melodies and or lyrics to songs that I've written, is ultimately what he was asking. There's not one way to do that. So sometimes I'll let the track play, and I'll sort of start framing or building a skeleton of what either the melody or the lyric should be, without a melody or without a lyric. And what I'm talking about is like, okay, here's the intro, I'm listening, okay, maybe a little teaser solo right here, a little short, little verse, right? First verse comes in, and where that punch happens, there should be a push. The band should be building, boom, whatever it is, crash. Well, that build up there, that's where your verse should be. And if you don't have anything like that, you need to rewrite your intro. But, hurry up and get to the verse if it's that kind of a sort of like, typical hard rock song or heavy metal song, But when you think about, there's not one way to write a song, is there? Because when you think about, I don't know, For Whom the Bell Tolls, that intro is long as shit. ba 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 ba. It's long. They play every part of the song proper
before the verse.
One like a full bars, 4 bars of each part before the first fucking verse. Right. So right. So anyway, there has to be a build up to your verse. Like I was saying, you can go, da 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 da. Rewind it. Try it again. Ba da 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 da. Try to find some kind of phrasing that you like. You're sort of scatting a drum solo over it. Shaka ta pa ta 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 pa pa pa. Whatever you want. And if you're not good at that, you better get good at it, because then if you can't scat a little percussion solo as just a pattern for you to put syllables that end up being words or in lyrics, don't worry about a melody yet. Okay? And write each part that way. Make sure it's hooky enough to where it's building up into the next part. Wait for your big, bomb to go off for whatever you want the chorus to be, of course. The hook, right? Every little part should be a little bit hooky, but don't give it away. Don't really give anything away until you get to what you want the chorus to be. So, how I write melodies, I'll jump to that, is you kind of have to know, if you know scale, if you know what key you've written the song in, and you can play a scale. If it's a minor chord structure, play a minor scale and find any note in that minor scale. Or if you know the scale, write down all of the notes. Well, here's an A, here's a B, here's a whatever, here's a C sharp, here's a D. Write down some of or all of the notes that you can think of that work inside of that scale, and mix them up on the floor, and then sing them. And if you can't sing them, play them one at a time on your guitar. And if that doesn't work, rearrange them again and play it again until you find this that's something that has a hook or a jam that makes sense. And if you can play that on your guitar to the cadence you came up with your dummy words, ta-ta-da, ta-pa-da-pa-da, ta-pa-da-pa-da-pa-da, ta-da-da-pa-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever, you get the idea. Right. That is that's really kind of like way too much information.
Yeah, well, like you said, there's no one way to write a song, so I'm sure he'll teach you that answer.
So once you come up with stuff that you like, you can simplify, because you've done all of the work already. You've kind of tried things that are too busy, probably, or you've tried things that aren't busy enough. Because once you find a root note and you sing that root note all the time, that's not writing a melody at all. That's just, when you play a riff and it's in one key and you just sing the one note, you're not writing melodies. Chances are you're not writing a hook either.
Right.
So you gotta try to find a few notes that you like that work with the riffs and the chord and the phrasing all together.
Well, cool. Well, thanks, Jason. I hope you appreciate that, Adrian. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to wrap this up. So do you have anything you want to plug, like any websites or anything that you got that you want people to know about, they can check you out on?
Well, it's kind of all out there. I mean, the internet is such
pretty
a powerful,
much just pretty much all the bands.com and
crazy monster. You can actually go to jasonmcmaster.net, and if you click on merch or shop or store or whatever the fuck it says, so many things pop up.
There you go.
So many things pop up. And like I said, I have a podcast. Everybody has a goddamn podcast now, and I have one called Talk Louder Podcast. The Talk Louder Podcast, and you can go to talklouderpodcast.com. It's on all streaming. It's on YouTube. You can watch it or you can just listen to it. It's very entertaining. We've had some of my idols on it.
Nice.
And it's incredible. We've had Billy Sheehan, we've had the guys in Saxon, the guys in Armored Saint, we had Ripper Owens, Danko Jones. Yeah, talk louder.
Well, we had Jason McMaster, so there.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Well, I hope it's still worth something after this episode. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate
we could talk all night about metal and stuff. You're a music fan, and that's what I know about you. And
before anything.
Yeah, exactly. So
we'll get you on again, Jason. The next time, hopefully, we can get you in studio. You know what I mean, and get you in person. But
okay, well, sure,
we'll do that.
Yeah, this is fixing to cut off again here in a second, but we really appreciate it. And
yeah,
I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Back at you. Y'all get a full-fledged account. It's not that bad. It's like $150 a year.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do that.
That way you can talk for 3 hours. Yeah.
Well, we love you, brother. And
back at you. Thanks, guys.
Soon, okay.
Yep. Have a good one.
Right. Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
Hey, I'm Laura, and you're watching Godfather TV.
We're the Godfather sisters, and we're watching Godfather TV.